Oh, well, hello there. I'm ZRice, and I'm here with another DVD Blu-ray video. Now, the last time I did one of these was I went shopping at the Criterion Collection sale back in November at good old Barnes and Noble. And I got a video like that. If you want to see it, then there's a link somewhere. The description, it's somewhere. At the end of the video, I don't know, but you'll find it. So today, though, we're going to be looking at all of the movies that I have from my collection that were made in the 70s. 1970s were an interesting time for Hollywood. There was a giant shift, a lot of mob flicks, and I don't know, interesting films all around. So let's start with a movie that I thought was made in the 80s for a very long time, but I realize it's not. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Spielberg made this shortly after he did Jaws. Jaws made in 74, and this one made in 77, I believe. Right? 1977? I think I got that right. But, interesting film right there. I'm not doing, Blu-rays or DVDs. Everything's kind of out of order here. Alien, well, the first one at least, was made in the 70s as well. 79, yeah, 79, a few years after Close Encounters. But, great movie. Ridley Scott, I believe, is a very, very talented director. Love The Martian. Love pretty much everything he's done. And I hear that there's a new Alien show that's on the way. A new Alien TV show. And I know Ridley Scott just got done making that other TV show. I forgot what it's called. But he made another one that I saw the trailer for. It looked kind of trippy. But, Ridley Scott, he's a great man. So, I'm excited to see more from him. Phantasm. Yes, all over the place. We're going into horror movies, I guess, now. But I saw this one a little while ago, back in the summer when I had a lot more free time on my hands. And I'd always heard that this one is like a must-watch in the realm of horror, and I think so too. It's a good enough film. It has one of the most interesting horror antagonists. That being of the tall man right here, played by Angus Scrimm. But there's a reason why he's called the tall man. I'll let you in on a little secret. He's pretty tall, if you know what I mean. Oh, Young Frankenstein. Oh man, it's been a minute. I remember I watched this. I started watching it with my mom a few years back, and then she fell asleep like halfway through it. Then I finished it by myself, and I was like, that movie is amazing and hilarious. And then the very next day I showed it to my brother and sister because I loved it so much. I wanted to see it again, and they like it too. And that this was the first Mel Brooks movie I'd ever seen, and I had to go watch Spaceballs and Blazing Saddles and all that other good stuff, but this was the first one. It kind of introduced me into the Mel Brooks style of films, or his films, not his style. I guess he does have his own style, but you know what I mean. Animal House. This is a movie from the 70s, right? Yep, 1978. What a year for films. 78. Halloween. John Carpenter's Halloween came out in 1978 as well. I should have brought my Halloween stuff. I always forget to bring my Halloween movies. Michael, because they're in my house in a special display with like all my Michael Myers masks and stuff, because I really do love Halloween. I'm a big Halloween fan. Even though I do have good old Bela Lugosi here, I'm a big Halloween fan. But yeah, this is great. Animal House. I got to see this. I don't know when I saw it. My memory is really bad these days. But John Belushi is hilarious as well, and I love that film from what were they called? Otis Day and the Knights. I might be getting this wrong, but when they were doing their own version of Shout. And everybody was like, dancing around and stuff. That's a great dancing scene. Great music scene as well. Here we go. Jaws. 1975. Jaws from Steven Spielberg. There's not really much to be said about this movie anymore. Maybe at the time there was, because it was a very, very big deal. It made a lot of people, afraid to go in the waters. And I'm still afraid to go in the ocean, because I feel like there's lots of gross stuff in the ocean. Or, if you live in San Diego, the waters aren't that, crystal clear as they are in some other places. Blazing Saddles, another one by Mel Brooks. Great film. I actually like this one even better than Young Frankenstein. I think a lot of people do as well. Let me know what you think of this. What is Mel Brooks' best movie? I don't know. No one's going to answer that question, but it's worth a shot. But anyways, Mel Brooks, he's just a funny guy. He's a funny man. And he actually has something to do with one of my favorite films of the 70s that we'll talk about a little bit later. 10 films, Western collection. Sorry, I feel like I'm not really showing you guys these, too well. But there's a few of them in here from the 70s. Jeremiah Johnson. Oh, it's Robert Redford, Outlaw Josie Wells. That's it. There's 2. The rest of them are from the 50s and the 60s, because that's when the height of the Western was, at an all-time high, when every actor, it seems like, had to do a Western back in the old days. James Stewart, Henry Fonda, great Western stars of the past. They don't make Westerns anymore. Tarantino has made some great ones with The Hateful Eight and Django. And even bits of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood feel like a Western. But yeah, if Tarantino's last film, his 10th film, is a Western, then I'm all for that. Life of Brian. Now, this is the first movie that we've talked about so far that I haven't seen. And there's a few of them I haven't seen over here, which, actually there's more than a few. I haven't gotten to a lot of my movies that I've bought. I buy them to watch them, and then I review them. Not on my YouTube channel. I actually have a little Instagram review page. It's called Rice Reviews Official. At Rice Reviews Official, if you want to follow me. Every time I watch a movie, I go in there and I do a little synopsis of what I thought about it. But anyways, Life of Brian, haven't seen it yet. I saw 5 minutes of it, and I never do this. I never just watch a bit of the movie and then leave. But I watched 5 minutes of it, and I didn't leave not because I hated it. I leave it because I thought my brother would really like it, because we had watched The Holy Grail together. And then I started watching Life of Brian, and I was like, wait a second, why am I watching this? I gotta watch this with my brother. Anyways, Bruce Lee, Return of the Dragon. I've actually seen Enter the Dragon, but not this one. I love Bruce Lee, though. His movies are fantastic. Dirty Harry. Well, the first 3 were made in the 70s, I believe. Yep, Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, and The Enforcer, but not Sudden Impact. That was made a little bit later, in the 80s. But Dirty Harry and Magnum Force, the first 2 I have seen. Not the other ones, though. I think I got this for... uh-oh, I got a little message on my phone. I think I got this for my, for Christmas last year, I believe. And they just kind of stacked them all on top of each other. Each movie just like that. Hold on, folks. Let me just see who I got a message from. I'm Mr. Popular, as you know. Okay. It was just from my mom. And there's another one. That one's from my brother. Mr. Popular, like I said. Gene Hackman. Great actor. Haven't seen The French Connection. Yes, I know. I'm very sorry. I apologize. There's a lot of movies here I haven't seen. And this is one of them. But I do love Gene Hackman, and I can't wait to see this one. Okay, so this I have seen. I was very shocked when I found this, because you don't see these movies very often. It's Lone Wolf and Cub. This is the very first one, Sword of Vengeance. And yes, after watching this one, I had to finish the whole series. There's 6 films, ending with White Heaven and Hell, which is the most underwhelming of the one. They didn't actually get to finish, telling the whole story of Lone Wolf and Cub. So when you watch White Heaven and Hell, which is supposedly the final installment, it doesn't feel like an ending, because I don't think it was supposed to be. So it just kind of ends, and you're like, oh, that's it? A little disappointing, but the series, though, it is amazing. You follow this man and his son, Daigoro, right there. Daigoro. But yeah, these films got remade into like Shogun Assassin and all this stuff in the 80s, but these are the classic ones, and you see a lot of this, by the Criterion Collection, but never this original kind of DVD here. I saw White Heaven and Hell at the same place where I bought this, good old Book Off. But it was like $25 for a DVD, and I was like, yeah, maybe another day, but not today. At least I got the first one. Al Pacino, Serpico. Sorry, I have not seen that one, but I own it though. Harold and Maude. This one's actually not mine DVD. This is my mom's. I should probably return it to her. But I did watch it though, and I absolutely loved it. Harold and Maude, if you don't know, is a great story about death and love and depression. It's one of those sad but funny movies, and it's sad but funny. Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe it. Mel Gibson is Mad Max, another one from the 70s, 1979. The Exorcist, William Peter Blatty's The Exorcist. William Peter Blatty being the author of the book. I actually read the novel that he wrote. That was the kind of kickstarted this whole thing. But William Friedkin is a great director, and he did a really great job of just making this one of the creepiest, creepiest movies that you'll ever see. And I watched this with my friends one night when we were having a sleepover at one of my friends' house. It was a very strange night. Everybody was freaked out about it. I had already seen the movie, but I wanted to show it to them, and I think they liked it. Lucio Fulci's Zombie. I feel like I'm butchering all these great directors' names, but Lucio Fulci or Lucio Fulci, I know. But one of the pioneers of kind of the zombie film, George Romero, being one of the greats of all time. But I think Lucio Fulci should be right up there with him, because one of my favorite scenes of this one is that there's actually there's an underwater scene with a zombie fighting a shark. How do you do that? Texas Chainsaw, another great horror movie. Tobe Hooper's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And another underrated one by the same name, Texas Chainsaw 2, I think is sort of underrated when it comes to sequels. Everybody talks about, the greatest sequels of all time. Terminator 2 and maybe even The Last Crusade being a great sequel. But I think Texas Chainsaw 2 should be up there because it's something. It feels almost completely different from the first one, but in a good way. Kind of has its own little vibe going, and a great final girl in that movie as well. Star Trek, the motion picture. This was the very first experience I had with Star Trek. I haven't watched any of the show, but I have seen some of the movies, and this one is okay, but I like Wrath of Khan a little bit better. Actually, a lot better. Superman the movie, everybody's favorite superhero. Maybe not everybody's favorite. Everybody likes Marvel these days. People forget how good these old ones are. The ones that kind of started it all. And Superman definitely was a good step forward in the superhero genre at the time that it came out. Now, you can't talk about the 70s without mentioning some, mob and gangster flicks, as I was saying before. And what better saga of gangsters flicks do you have than The Godfather? The new Death of Michael Corleone just came out. That Francis Ford Coppola, final cut thing that he just released in theaters and Blu Ray. And I want to see that because Godfather 3, while not made in the 70s, wasn't that bad in my opinion. I think it gets bad rep, with the acting and the story. And Robert Duvall not being in it, but I think it's not as bad as people say it is. But nothing can touch the first two Godfathers. So the first two are absolutely fantastic. Let's see if I can pull them out here. Oh yes, I really need a Blu Ray of these films. I watched them on DVD, which was okay. They're fine, but I need a Blu Ray of those. I should have asked for that for Christmas, because Christmas is right around the corner, but I forgot. Oh my god, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Now, a lot of people say that the new show, Ratched, from Nurse Ratched, is really good. But then a lot of people are saying it's not good, and it's just overly stylish for no reason. But Sarah Paulson is a great actress, and I don't know. Maybe I should watch it. I don't know. Let me know. Yeah, let me know. I know no one's gonna let me know because no one watches my videos, but just let me know. Oh, something fell out of there. But anyways, this first one though is really good in my opinion. You know, you shouldn't be watching the Netflix show if you haven't seen this one. Enter the Dragon. I was talking about this earlier. I haven't seen Return of the Dragon quite yet, but I have seen Enter the Dragon. And I love the final fight scene with Bruce Lee and the Bear Claw Man as they were fighting in like that kind of funhouse style room of 1,000 mirrors type of thing. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I also talked about this a little bit while back. You know, me and my brother love this one. And my God, look at all those special features on the back. Sorry, there's like a weird shade when I come over here. When I look over there, you can see everything kind of perfectly. Is that clear? Is that clear enough? Yeah, you look at all the special features. I gotta look at that. Sing-alongs and everything. My God. Oh, we got a few more left. Some of my favorite ones coming up. Let's just keep going. Man with the Golden Gun and Diamonds Are Forever. 2 more James Bond films in the never-ending saga, which for good reason. You know, it shouldn't. I don't think James Bond should ever end. It's really good. As long as they keep it fresh and consistent, then, you know, why not have 5 more James Bonds? People playing James Bond. What do you mean? First one, Star Wars, A New Hope. I was really disappointed when I found out that I spent $45 on this Blu-ray and there's no special features for any of them. Not ones that are like amazing, but anyways, there's like an audio commentary, but which is fine. But I wanted like, you know, extra stuff. But it's okay. There's Blu-ray and DVD for the original saga, but the first one, made back in 1977, still remains one of, if not the best, Star Wars film. Because it changed the game. And if you haven't seen The Mandalorian Season 2 finale yet, I suggest you do it if you're a Star Wars fan. But if you're a Star Wars fan, you've probably already seen it. Oh my God, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. Top 5 of the 1970s probably is Nobuhiko Obayashi's House, or Houseu. I don't know. I know this is one of PewDiePie's favorite films. And, you know, you gotta respect the PewDiePie. Yeah, look at that great little book. Don't you just love the Criterion Collection? My God. All these different kind of special features in this one. It's about the story of a few friends that decide to gather up and take a little trip on the bus to one of their grandparents' house. For one of the friends' grandparents, invited them to come over and, you know, spend the night. But when they're spending the night, something goes terribly, terribly wrong, and the house isn't what it seems, and the family they're staying at, the grandparents are not what they seem. But it sounds like your everyday horror film, but it's not. I don't want to say too much about it, but when I say that it's the wildest film you'll ever see, or that I've ever seen, I don't know. I'll just leave it at that. So go watch it. The first 2 Rocky films were made in the 70s, number 1 and 2. Apollo Creed still remains one of, if not the best, Rocky villain. Well, then he became friends. So I guess, I don't know. Rocky, though. There's a few Planet of the Apes movies that were made in the 70s. Beneath the Planet, Escape from the Planet. What does that one say? Conquest of the Planet and Battle for the Planet of the Apes. Haven't seen any of them, but I'm looking forward to, because Planet of the Apes, as you know, is a great cultural phenomenon. Okay, now we're getting to the last. Oh, Jesus Christ, we're almost at the end of the video. We only got 2 more left. Okay. THX 1138, I believe this was made in 1970, if I can remember correctly. Sorry, my brain isn't too good. But this is George Lucas's kind of USC, kind of, not final project, but It has something to do with USC, the school he went to, the University of Southern California, which I applied for, but I'm not going to get in. But yeah, the THX 1138 has Donald Pleasance in it, who is great, and as I said before, I love me some Halloween. So Dr. Loomis, as I always see him, is in this, and Rob Duvall, great kind of science fiction plays. This is the director's cut from George Lucas. Some people's, I think he added like some CGI stuff in this one. I can't really tell. It kind of got the Star Wars treatment, but it was, it's not very noticeable to me. Okay, so this might be my favorite film of the 70s, and that's saying something, because all of these movies over here are amazing in their own right, in their own way, but for some reason, I gotta give it to Eraserhead. There's just something about this movie that has stuck with me from the very first time I saw it. And David Lynch is one heck of a director. Let me just show you this little thing. This is like part of something that came out, I think, on David Lynch's website back in 2000 and maybe 2000, 2002, maybe 2000 right there. I don't know. But it came out a little while ago, and kind of like an exclusive kind of thing. These aren't really, you can't really find these. Look at that. That's the DVD in there. Opens up like that. Ooh, look at that. I don't want to rip this. I think it's starting to tear a little bit because I didn't know how to open it the first time, and I ripped it a little bit. I'm dumb. Look at that, the DVD in there. Got a nice little Eraserhead booklet that we can look at later in a different video in there. Great little set, and I don't know, Eraserhead. Jack Nance plays this, not crazy guy, but he plays this guy who's living in a crazy world. And it's like, it's a whole different, it seems like it's our world, but everybody acts so differently. And why can't I put this in? What am I doing wrong? Okay. There we go. But yeah, this comes with one more thing. The films, the short films of David Lynch here. There are some great ones in here, like The Six Men Getting Sick, The Alphabet, The Grandmother, all these other classic David Lynch films that he made in his early years, and he attended AFI, which I wish I could apply for, but I don't think I can, actually, not yet. But David Lynch is probably my top 5 directors of all time. Okay, anyways, thank you for watching my 1970s movie collection. He kind of wrapped this up right as, after that little pause. Sorry, folks. But, yeah, what a great... I have so many. Okay, we'll be back for the 1980s a little bit later. But for now, I gotta say thank you for watching. Good luck. And goodbye. And I'll see you next time, my dudes, my guys and gals. Alright, see you later. Peace.